Aside from the basic things like not getting enough sleep, eating junk, sitting all day, there are things that everyone does daily without knowing that it's lowering their testosterone. Whilst the basics are the most important, you already know about them. That's why in this video, I want to cover things that you don't know about. Some might be shocking at first, but I'll make sure that you understand why and how it's actually lowering your testosterone in the end. The first habit is brushing your teeth. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm not talking about the act of brushing your teeth because that in and of itself is extremely important for you. But I'm especially talking about your toothpaste. Did you ever look at the ingredients of that thing? I mean, you put some of it in your mouth, and even if you try not to, you'll for sure ingest some of it. But the problem with the conventional toothpaste is that it's filled with xenoestrogens, and these are synthetic compounds that mimic the effect of estrogen, and therefore they lower your testosterone. But there are natural options that don't have these xenoestrogens, and usually they're found right next to the conventional toothpaste. Yes, maybe they can cost a little bit more money, but they are free from these toxins. On the branding, it's usually written organic or natural, and you want to aim for the least amount of ingredient possible. But toothpaste was just an example. All of the other products you use daily, your soap, your shampoo, your skincare, you must apply the same rule. Here are the labels you want to aim for: natural, organic, no, as an example, parabens, and non-toxic. And this even applies to your sunscreen. Currently, there's a dilemma about sunscreen because in sunscreen, there are things that can cause cancer like benzene. And even if it's written no benzene, they might be using an alternative that is as bad or even worse than benzene. Personally, since I live in the north, I just straight up don't use sunscreen. But that might be impossible for you. And if it's impossible, just buy mineral-based sunscreen. The goal isn't to hide ourselves from the sun because, as we all know, the sun is extremely good for us and it does increase testosterone. The goal is to avoid sunburn because sunburn is what's gonna give you skin cancer. So you must manage your sun exposure. So this habit of using products that are filled with xenoestrogen is the first on the list. You must avoid them and replace them with natural options. The second habit is sleeping on polyester bed sheets, or even worse, using polyester underwear. You see, polyester is plastic. It's something that we use to make clothes, and especially these sports clothes that feel extremely light are always made out of polyester. And this plastic is bad for you. You might absorb microplastic via your skin, but even worse, in microplastic, there are toxic chemicals, things like phthalates and BPA, which are extremely estrogenic. So via the same principle as the xenoestrogens I talked about earlier, phthalates and BPA will lower your testosterone. But the fix is very simple. Compared to the fix of the first habit, all you need to do is stop buying polyester clothing and only buy cotton clothing from now on. So you'll be using your polyester clothing until you just don't want to use it anymore. Personally, I replace all of my wardrobe with only 100% cotton made clothing. And what's great about all of this is that cotton is cheaper than polyester. So you might already have a bunch of cotton clothing. And when you replace your clothing with cotton clothing, start with your underwear because you're always touching it. That's it for the second habit. Now the third one is maybe not something you do every day, but it is something you are every day. And that is being sexually satiated, or in other words, experiencing sexual exhaustion. It has been shown that rats who were sexually satiated because of an abundance of female rats experience lower testosterone and an important reduction in androgen receptor density in the brain. As you already know, testosterone is a sex hormone. So if you signal to your brain that you're sexually satisfied, it will lower the production of these sex steroid hormones. So when you fat, you're effectively lowering your testosterone and androgen receptor density for a period of time. Now, that period of time vary from person to person. But even if you're a teenager who's as horny as the devil, you should still watch out for this. In human studies, it has been shown that the drop in androgen receptor density in the brain lasts anywhere from 24 hours to 72 hours, so 1 or 3 days. So basically, avoiding doing it too much, avoiding releasing too much, at least never doing it daily, is a great way to reduce this drop in androgen receptor density and testosterone. Now, you might not notice it right now, but if you keep it up like this, you'll for sure notice it one day. That's it for this video. I hope it will help you on your journey, and I'll see you guys in the next one.